Hello everyone, this is Danish. Welcome to my channel, Investing Habits. Starting this channel as I'm seeing that a lot of people are getting excited as the market is keep going up, and I have a group where a lot of many of my friends, you know, they ask questions regarding where to invest and how to invest and all that sort of good stuff. If this stock is good to buy, or if it's this stock we should consider selling, what price and all that sign of type of good stuff. So thought of creating a channel where I can actually give some of the reasoning that cannot be given in a text message or in a call. It would be a lot better to just have a video and answer a few things regarding how one should consider investing and what are the pinpoints that to look at when someone is investing. So when I was thinking about making this channel, it came into my mind like I have many friends who haven't invested, who never invested, who have not yet invested, let's say it that way. So um, so I thought of what should be the some reasoning behind investing. Like if I'm an investor, what are my reasoning behind it, right? So I thought of make a simple three reasons to invest kind of a video. So in this video, I'm only going to cover why one should consider investing. So, and three reason, and then I will probably give a one bonus reason on top of that. So generally, just to start it that way, the major reason to invest is your dollar or whichever currency that you hold or your country you live in, the currency, it meant to, inflation. What it means is that it meant to devalue on a yearly basis. So if you look at if you look at the US dollar tend to go down 2% in its value on yearly basis. That's called inflation rate. So government expect to have an inflation on dollar 2% every year. That's an average. It's not exactly 2%. Sometimes it's a little higher, sometimes it's a little lower. So the general rule of thumb is that when you're investing, you don't want to lose your dollar value. So what it means, let's say you have $100,000. You had $100,000 in 2010, let's say, and the value of that 2000, the $100,000 back then in 2010 is now worth much lesser, considering 2% value loss. So let's say if you bought a house in 2010 which was worth $250,000, by now it would have been $400,000 or 350 wherever you live in, but generally it would have gained value. It's just a house, but there are many other things. Let's say if you look at the stock market, there are many good companies that you bought in 2010. You might with $100,000 you probably be sitting in very good asset value. So that is one of the major reason, you don't want to lose the value of your savings. And your savings generally meant to help you over the period of time instead of devaluing. So saving is very important, and then on top of that, losing the value in your dollar is not so good. So that's the one major reason. So you should invest in, whether you invest in real estate, whether you invest in stocks or commodities. Some other things are now coming up like cryptocurrencies and stuff, but then you should focus on investing. And some people have different tendency. We can discuss about that in my next videos, like how you should consider investing. What kind of what are the beginner steps, take a small tech step every time you move forward. So that's the first major reason. Dollar meant to meant for inflation. So you're gonna lose your value if you just keep it in the bank, and over the period of time you're just gonna lose value. So it's always good to invest just for that particular reason. Now, where to invest? Stock market. If you look at 100 years, second reason is to stock market. If you look at that for last 100 years or more, it always has gone up. Yes, there were times when it dropped, but over the period of time it goes up. So let's say you are 20 years old, 30, 40 years old, even 50 years old. If you starting to invest now, in 10 years your investment should, if you invest in the stock market, just buying, just a stock market ETF, it will take you some higher. Like it would be a higher than 2% inflation rate on a yearly basis. There would be time when there's down 5%, 10%, but then over the period of time it will recover and it will go higher. So stock market and good companies always outperform your dollar sitting in the bank account. So that is your the second major reason you should invest, you know, and not keeping the cash in your bank account, because you have a tool that provides you more, value to your money. So that is very important. Um, a lot of people don't see it, but stock market is a great tool. I consider it like a very, if you are reasonable, and if you always pick the right companies, and there are so many right companies, you can't go wrong. If you just follow the rule, you can go wrong 99% of the time. So keeping your money in bank is just waste of your money. You're losing value. So it's always good to invest in stock market. The third major reason that I consider you should invest is that your hard-earned money that you keep put in the bank, you worked really hard. I worked very hard to save 5, 10, 15, whatever amount that I have. That money should earn money for me. Yeah. Having it idle is like having your money, losing its value, like ice cube melting. So generally people don't get that point. When you have your money sitting in the bank account, it's nothing. It has no zero value to you because you're not using it. So yeah, that's not that many people get that point. But if you understand it that way, let's say you have $10,000, but that $10,000 in 10 years in your bank account did not do any good to you because you just had it in your bank account. The bank was using it, and bank was making money out of your money, but you were not doing anything with that. You were just letting them do whatever, and then you should have something, invested in. It would have given you higher returns. So let's say if you had bought Apple stock, everyone knows about Apple. Everyone knows about McDonald's. Everyone knows about Facebook, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, many other companies, Google. All those stocks, if you look up 10 years back, even though you all knew it, you just didn't buy it, or I didn't buy it. Those $10,000 might have worth about $40,000-$50,000. So having the $10,000 still in your bank account after 10 years, or $10,000 that had turned to $40,000 in your trading account, definitely worth a lot of value. And if you had just bought it in the stock market, the stock market was around, S&P was about 1,200, 1,400 points back then. Now it's sitting on 3,800. So you would have tripled your money by now. So even just buying an ETF, stock market ETF, would have given you 3%, 3 times of a return in 10 years. So why waste your money sitting in the bank account? So the rule of thumb of investing is that you should invest your money for having that to multiply over the period of time. So that's the bonus point that I wanted to talk about. Not that many people get it. This is very important. A lot of people get excited when they go into the stock market. They think that they can multiply it on daily basis or on monthly basis. That doesn't happen. In real life, it might happen but you will get in a bad habit. So it's better to avoid that and just buy some good companies, because if it will return you it will give you good return over the period of time. So my rule of thumb is that I like to look up for the good companies, that are selling cheap. Not that many people knows about it. By the time everybody knows about it, it's already has multiplied many times. So make your money work for you. If you want to do that, then you have to buy some good companies at a cheaper price. We'll teach that in the next steps, like how to find good companies and how can you value a company and all those sort of good stuff. If you like and subscribe this channel, you'll be notified and we will continue to make those videos, like why to invest, how to invest, where to invest, all sort of good stuff that the that anyone like anyone who is the first time investor. So I consider myself being a learner, and I believe that I would be learning with throughout these videos too. And I hope to hear from you guys with your questions and concerns in this in the comments. Thank you very much. Hope you had a good learning session for the first time, and I'm very excited to give more details moving forward. Thank you very much for your time.